Alright guys, what's going on? It's Kage, and welcome to today's video where today I'm going to be going over my Dragon Link deck profile for you guys. So this deck I took with me to locals this past weekend, and for my first time really playing the deck outside of doing test hands on Omega, it performed pretty well. I probably could have played better because I've just had that feeling I probably didn't. There was combos that I could have done that I didn't see. Round one, I went up against Gold Pride Punk, and I just bricked both games. Round two, I went up against Bestial Resonator, which was kind of interesting, but I managed to pull that out. Uh, round one, I went 0-2. Round two, I went 2-0. Round three, I went up against Galaxy Eyes, and I won 2-0. And then round four, I went up against Branded Synchro. And those matches were pretty even, but ultimately my opponent managed to be able to outgrind me in the grind game, and I lost. But yeah, let's get into the deck profile. So, starting off, I am running 3 copies of Black Metal Dragon. Black Metal, this is one of my the main card I want to see that starts off my combos. And then this is also your searcher for your Red Eyes Darkness Metal. I'm not running the Gamma Meteor package just because I don't like how it feels and I feel like it's too inconsistent. And then the next cards I'm running is 3 copies of Seifert. So, Seifert I feel is pretty self-explanatory. This lets you get to another level 4 in your deck. Level 4, level 8, basically another dragon. But the main reason, that effect never really came up. Its secondary effect is the one that mainly came up for me, which is you can banish it and then add a level 8 dragon. So I think it was against a Bestial Resonator player. I used this, banished it off, got the Levianeer. I already had a Lubellion engrave, so I managed to bring out the Levianeer, and I managed to wipe the board. Also, this helped me get my Lubellion back. And then speaking of Lubellion, for the Bestial package, I am running 3 copies of Lubellion. This is basically standard. I don't really feel like I gotta explain. This is a free special summon, gets you to your branded, spells and traps, and also gets you your other Bestials. 3 copies of Sarnier. This is like the second best Bestial that you can have. Usually you search this and the mag. And then the one I'm probably going to butcher this. Magnahoot? Magmanhut? I don't know. I just call it Mag. Or Magma. So, this lets you get another dragon card to hand, and this is usually the second one that you search after the Sarnier. A single copy of Druis. This never really came up, but it's an extra name for the summon. And then the one Baldrake. So I was siding Drake out a lot, but this I basically just had as the extra name. Nothing really to say about that. And then for the Rocket Engine, I am running the 2 copies of Tracer, the 1 Recharger, the 1 Caliber, the 1 Apso, and then the 1 Nocto. And then I am running Quick Launch, but I'll get to that when we get to the spell cards. So Tracer, this just searches out any of your other rockets. Apso gets you to Tracer. Rechargers for the non-tuner name. I've seen a lot of lists cut Caliber, but I personally like Caliber because if I open it in my hand, it's a free special summon to its own a Darklink monster points to, which is almost our entire extra deck. And then Nocto is again just a free special summon. So nothing really I have to. Oh, and this is also the draw, free draw, so nothing really to say about that. And then for our Chaos package, obviously we're running the baby, Chaos Dragons, the Levianeer. Levy only really came up once. Most times I used it for discard fodder. These two kind of came up, but at the same time, not really. And then moving on, and then also the one Red Eyes Darkness Metal. This did come up. And then moving on to the hand traps, I'm running 3 Ash, 3 Nib, 3 Imperm, and then 2 copies of Valor. So this deck is already at 45 cards. I could probably cut the Drake for a 3rd copy of Valor, but I feel this ratio worked pretty well for me. I didn't really have that many, I saw my hand traps enough that I was able to do my thing and pop off. It's not like, my hand was extremely flooded or anything. And then moving on to the spells. 3 copies of Quick Launch. I don't really need to explain that. The 2 field spells, Ravine and Boot Sector. Chaos Space. I really wish we had this at 3 because, the deck kind of lost some consistency with that. Regained. I am running Beast in the side. I didn't really feel like... Usually I would side that in. I might actually consider siding Drake, putting Drake in the side fully. But I always felt like even when I had Beast in the deck, I would always go for the Regained first because you can draw off it and then it also lets you special summon something. And then 2 copies of Triple Tactics Talent. So, Talent actually came up a couple times before when I was originally doing testing with this deck. I only ran it in the side because I didn't really feel like I needed it. But I decided to make the call to try putting it in the main, and this came up. So, yeah, no, I can't even lie. This card came up, and I considered running it at 3, but I feel like the 2 copies of Triple is enough because I saw it enough to where I didn't have to worry, but it wasn't like it was, a brick either. And that is it for the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck. Striker, Pisty, Romulus, 2 copies of the Hieratic Seal. So I feel like all these are pretty standard. This is your Boot Sector search, your Ravine search. This is just another free summon if you have a another dragon monster point to his own, it points to. So the 2 copies of seals, I have seen a lot of people only running the 1 seal. I personally prefer 2 because there was a game I had to go seal pass, which was fine. But, I did end up making the 2nd seal as well as another, I forget what else I had made. But I personally like the 2 seal because I've tested it in 1 and I just felt like the 1 wasn't enough. And then the IP Masquerena and the SP Little Knight. SP, believe it or not, did not really come up that much for me. So this came up maybe in 2 matches, But I never really went into SP because I never really felt like I needed it. Like, usually I had other ways of outing boards that otherwise I might have needed it. So I was kind of surprised. Then, Triple Burst, Boral Sword. So, Boral Sword, I'm honestly, this is probably going to get cut for access code. Or the Dark Charmer, I haven't really decided which one yet, but this did not come up at all, like, ever. Borland, Savage, Scarlight for Time, Baron, Dispatter, and Chaos Angel. So the Chaos Angel did come up in a few of my matches, basically just for the banish. I found myself going Dispatter more because it was another summon, and then I could get it back off the regained. Baron, I never went into Baron, but... Or did I? I think I might have gone into Baron once. Scarlight never came up. Savage came up a lot. And of course, I feel like I went into Borland like every single turn. Or every single game. But yeah, that is it for the deck profile. I hope you guys have enjoyed. This deck is honestly a really fun deck. I mean, it is kind of expensive because I know Lubellion is still like $15 a copy. And then the SP Little Knight and the Chaos Angel are like big commanders of money. But if even if you play this deck online, it is a very fun deck to play. And if you're a fan of combo decks like I am that can just, do some crazy shenaniganry, yeah, this deck is definitely what you're looking for. But that is it. Until the next video, I will catch you guys later. See ya.